Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whichever the case may be for you. If you're new here, I am the Celtic Mutt, and I am just rambling tonight, just because I can. Um, my last live was 4 days ago from the hospital. I was waiting for my biopsy. I've had the bronchoscopy, and I've since returned home. I am currently recovering. And there are at least 5 legions. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, 5. So the colon cancer has metastasized. One on the lower left brain, lower right brain, one on the adrenal gland, and one on the upper and lower left lobe of the lung, for a total of 5. Now, they don't all know that they're the same cancer, as I stated in the original, and I still haven't determined whether they're benign or malignant, or at least they haven't told me, and they may not until I go on I believe it's the 17th, for my not my colonoscopy, my visit with the oncologist. I do have another visit with my general surgeon to have my ileostomy put back. So I don't know how that's going to do. That should be interesting. I'm curious to see what he says, whether he's going to wait until after the chemo is done or whether he's going to proceed to go ahead and put the ileostomy back. I don't know. I'm personally hoping he does put the ileostomy back. That said, I'm just shooting the breeze right now. Waiting and waiting. I don't foresee there being any. They've caught them all very early, so I don't. While there are, because of the location, they are classified as stage 4. They are above the diaphragm. They are all classified as stage 4, but hey, it is what it is, right? I'm not going to sit here and fret over spilt milk. I'm just not. I can't do it. So that being said, how is everybody's evening this evening? I am curious. Doesn't seem I have anybody viewing this, so, but that doesn't surprise me either. There were some who were, while I was in the hospital, who would view it, but they were a bit later in the day, later in the morning. It is not even midnight here, my time yet. So, but they're going to start me out with radiation, which they've already started me on the dexamethasone, which is a Steel and Tree. How are you? Hey. They started me out on the dexamethasone and a painkiller, although I have not had to have the painkiller today. I have taken my dexamethasone. I'll take another one at 8 o'clock in the morning. They went from every 6 to every 12 hours. Things could be better, but they could be worse. They could be much, much worse. Believe me. Trust and believe that one, Steel and Tree. They could be much, much worse. I know this because, well, mine have been worse. Mine are worse. than they were before. But it is what it is, right? Um, all in all, I'm okay. I'm not overly tired. Last night well, today I didn't fall asleep till about 6 in the morning. I'm hoping and praying that that doesn't happen again today. The next step just makes me tired. I've I've been I've gone. You know that I've gone the route of the chemo before. It just makes me more tired. That's all. It really does. Um, but we're going out. I am trying to make memories. I did call my daughter finally. For those of you who are wondering, who may see this later, yes, my daughter does know now that Dad's cancer is back. But I wasn't going to tell her until biopsy came back. But after talking with the ex-wife and actually talking with my wife, I don't think it's fair that I leave her in the dark. We don't know anything yet, and I told her I would keep her posted as things progressed, but it is what it is right now. So that's where I'm at. How are things going for you, Steel and Tree? You're more than welcome to jump up here and join the live if you want. I'm just doing it straight from YouTube. I'm not even doing it from the StreamYard right now, although I just paid for the StreamYard. It just went through today. So I could technically, but I decided not to. I'm just shooting the breeze right now. Much worse is the you're a ray of sunshine. You really are. Much worse is the next step. No, no, like I said, it just makes me more tired. Um, I'm just glad that my daughter now knows, and I'm not keeping a secret from her. I will be. My son and I are. He's not. We're better through text, so I'll text him and let him know that his old man is. Oh, for you. Okay. Uh-oh. That's not good. I misunderstood. I'm sorry. No, that's not good. Excuse me one second. I'm going to drink down here. I'm going to take a pull. I'm still here, as you can tell. I'm just taking a drink. It hopes. There we go, a little bit. That it clears the throat at least a little. There we go. I'm back. I don't know if they got everything. Well, they didn't try to remove anything. They were just doing the biopsy. I don't know that they surgically tried to remove anything. They were just doing the biopsy to see whether it was benign or malignant. So I don't think they got everything this time. I won't know that what the next step in the process is until I go and talk to the oncologist on like the 17th. I'm talking to the general surgeon on I want to say it's the 12th. So yeah, there's that. I'm staying medicated. I'm keeping the medications down, no problem, without any issues. I don't know what the next step is until they until I talk to the oncologist. So when I know that, I'll fill folks in it, obviously. I'll make another live. You guys have got to be tired of my lives by now, always talking about all this negative stuff. But if I don't talk about it, then I'm one of the very few who talks about it, or at least that I've seen on YouTube. So, I mean, there are a few. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there aren't any, but there are very few that keep it as plain and simple as I do. Live streams are life? Yeah. I suppose they are. They're the life's blood of YouTube anyway. And I'm not playing any music, so I'm just talking. And it's not like I'm sharing anything other than my own personal experience. It's not like I'm speaking as a doctor. I'm not. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a layperson with my own issues. Hopefully, the next time you see me live will be from the office studio, not just from this chair. I will have my office chair behind me, with my desk and everything situated and set up, hopefully. Mrs. Mutt and I are sharing an office. She's doing her studies in there, and I do lives from it. So we call it a studio. She studies, I do studio work. So that's where we're at right now. I'm surprised to see you awake, to be honest with you, Steel and Tree. This time of night, I really am. And Miss Russell, if you happen to see this, the video you commented on was prior to me going into the hospital. But yes, I am out. That with me trying the cheese raviolis, that was at a local restaurant here that they've turned an old Catholic tavern or an old Catholic abbey into a tavern / restaurant. Freemason Abbey, which is in downtown Norfolk. So yeah, we're trying that one out. Mrs. Mutt had eaten there once years ago. I had never eaten there. You woke up from a long nap. Okay. So yeah. So Miss Russell, if you see this, that was prior. The comment you made was prior to me going into the hospital. But yes, I am out. Almost 3. Hey, a nap's a nap. What can you say? A nap is a nap. And I'm not gonna get mad at you. You gotta forgive the background a little bit. I'm just whatever. Covered up with 2 blankets right now. 2 thin hospital blankets. Or hospital-like blankets, I should say. But they're comfortable, so I'm not mad at them. So yeah, I'm just on here rambling, shooting the breeze, and mentally drained. I can relate. I can definitely relate to the mentally drained. I've stayed mentally drained the last couple of days. So yeah, I can definitely relate to that. Excuse me a minute, y'all. I'm going to switch this around. There we go. Y'all just going to forgive my brother. or not. I don't care. um, but I definitely get the mentally drained. Had a lot on my mind lately too. A lot on my mind. So, but like I said, I'm still waiting on the biopsy to come back. They said it would be. They did it on. They finally got around to doing it on Tuesday, and today is now Monday. So hopefully, with it being a week later, they will have gotten it to the oncologist. Hopefully by tomorrow they will have gotten it because they took the fluid, they captured the fluids too that were around it and took the fluids as well as so that had debris. Well, I'll call it debris, but material in it as well that they could biopsy. So they'll do all that. So hopefully they got everything they needed. Um, the assistant resident at Virginia Beach General pretty much assured me. He didn't come right out and say it. He wasn't allowed to. But he pretty much assured me that the odds were really good, that they got everything they needed. To biopsy everything between the piece of the lung and the fluids and the debris that was in the fluids. They're pretty sure they got everything they needed. So we'll see what the oncologist says on, I believe it's the 17th. I've got so many appointments. It's not even funny. I've got one on the 12th, one on the 19th, and one on the 17th or something like that, I think. For one's post-surgical, one is post-hospital stay, which is with my primary care, and then the oncologist, and then one with the general surgeon. So that's 3 there that I know of. So I'm going to be tired of seeing doctors by the end of it all, I think. Oh, wait, I already am. That's right. My shoulders, my arms hurt they were giving me blood thinners in the hospital to keep me, because I wasn't able to get up and walk because they had me classified as a fall risk. They didn't want me to get up without assistance, and walk too much. So they were giving me um, thinners to keep me from my legs clotting. Now, mind you, I'm constantly moving my legs. I'm moving them as we speak. So it wasn't a matter of a prolonged, sitting still. It was a matter of not moving my legs enough to keep the blood flow. Well, that's not the case. But they felt they needed to give it to me, so they were giving it to me every 6 hours. Well, both shoulders now hurt because they were alternating arms. They were doing the back of the arms, and they're just bruised on the back of both arms. So, it is what it is. They didn't like me not getting up and moving, but they didn't want me to get up and move either. So it's a catch-22. But I'm done with that, and I've gotten up and moved quite a bit in the last couple of hours. Back and forth to the kitchen, back and forth to the bathroom, up and down the stairs. Had to feed the evil incarnates. Hey, you let one of them in the house. I don't even want to hear it. And you wouldn't know what to do without those quote unquote evil incarnates. They keep you amused, and You can try to tell me otherwise, but I know better. Evil incarnate nothing. Yeah. I won't let your secret out. That's your story to tell, not mine. Stealing tree. But I know how much you appreciate those evil incarnates, as you called them. You can you can pretend like you're like they're not, but they're some of your favorites, and I know better. I don't blame you. That's why we've got 4 or 5 of them floating around here. Actually, we've got 5. Come to think of it, none of them are downstairs at the moment. Well, one of them might be in with the roommate, but I think the other 4 are upstairs with Mama Mutt. In evil feline form. Yeah, well, she's a toddler. She'll let you know. She's already let you. I've got pictures to prove that she's let you know that she's had enough. I didn't delete anything, but I'm not sharing anything either. She's a cutie. She's an absolute doll. I bet. Yeah, they do that. They tend to grow up quick like that, especially especially if you're feeding them baby food, if you will. That baby food is high in protein, so it's yeah. We alternate hours between wet food and dry food. Keep them guessing. Yeah. Well, again, wasn't going to put it out there what you had. Yeah, so does mine. So does ours. Shoot, I'll share my tuna with them. I don't care. Fried chicken, although they don't get much of that. I'll break off a piece and hand. I've got 2 of them. 2 of the 4 that'll come get it. I'll take it like pretty much straight from my hand. And those are the babies. They're Trini will be a year old tomorrow. Well, she's a year old now. She's a year old today because it's after midnight. I got a notification on her birthday on my phone. She's a year old today. Another year older, I should say. So she's 2. Wow. Yeah, I know. I know. And she doesn't get much. They might get a piece here and there, but they don't get much. Believe me. I know the salt's not good for them. It's not like I'm giving them a whole piece. I mean, I'm talking a sliver. I don't give them much. My parents raised Dobermans when I was a kid, so and dogs are the same way as cats. They'll do the same thing. Not quite as bad, but it can. So we have to be careful. And the roommate's really good about it. If they jump up on the table while he's eating, he'll pick them up and put them right back on the floor again. So he doesn't even feed them from the table. But no, I don't give them much human food at all, if at all. Once in a blue moon, but 99% of the time they're eating cat food. But they do like the tuna. They will. Trinity's actually taken she'll knock, like, we'll put one in the trash can. She'll knock the trash can over to get to a tuna can if there's anything left in it. So we had to be careful with that. 9 times out of 10, we just put that outside in the main trash can outside. But yeah, it's not a real problem here. I'm actually looking for the minions. They're inside cats. They don't go out, so they're inside cats. I'm not going to. I'm not cruel enough to declaw them either, so we don't have to worry about that. That's like cutting away part of a knuckle, and I'm not doing that to any of the cats. But yeah, I think that's how we had one get into one of the wall. There was a hole in a roommate's wall, a former roommate's wall, and Abigail had gotten into the hole, and she stayed in there for about a month. Now, Mrs. Mutt was putting food out there every day in a safe trap, so that we could try to catch her to release her back in the house and keep that door closed. Well, she was eating that food, but I also think she was getting into, like, birds that might have gotten into the eaves of the roof or whatever. So there's no telling what all she was eating, because she had a heck of a time for about 2 weeks reacclimating to being back in the house. But now she seems to be, she's rather comfortable in the roommate's room. She's our cat, but you would think she was the roommate's cat, the way she acts. She curls up with him. She'll go out in the middle of the, like, she won't eat with the other cats. She'll go. We've all and we keep food. We've got three bowls, and we keep at least two of them full all the time. Usually all three, but we try to keep all three full. But for some reason, three of them like to eat out of one bowl, out of the same bowl. So they'll crush that bowl and then leave the other two bowls. Well, Abigail likes to eat by herself, so she'll eat. And she's not considerably older than Trinity. Her and Trinity are about the same age, which is unusual. I think they might be a month apart, maybe. I know that they had their litters a week apart, but I don't think that they're any older than like a month apart in age. Come here. I just heard one of them. Probably, I don't know which one it was. Sounds like it might have been Miss Hella. And for those of you who are wondering, Hela is named after the daughter of Loki. In fact, all but Billy Bean. Well, originally all of the cats. We had Loki, we had Hela, we had Fenrir, who is Loki's brother, and Jormungandr. Yormi and all of them except for Hela, and we kept all. We were able to find homes. Let me put it that way, forever homes for all of them, but Hela, who I absolutely adore, and Billy Beans, who was going to be my cat anyway, but she's taken to her mother. She's a gray tortie. Yeah, you told me about that. You told me you almost named her EBT or food stamps. EBT or food stamps. That is funny. You didn't have to erase that. I thought it was funny. I I can think of plenty of names that go with the initials EBT. But yeah, I've got a little bit of a soft spot for Hella. She'll reach over and swat me every time. Like I walk past. Like she likes to lay on the edge of the couch that's closest to the dining room. So, but I've got to go through the living room into the dining room to get to the kitchen. Well, anytime I walk past her to go from the living room into the kitchen, if she's laying in that corner, she'll swat me as if to say, "Hey, I'm right here. You forgot to pet me." I mean, she can be sound asleep and wake right up, and bam. Hmm. I hadn't even thought about it, but yeah, I get your point. I hadn't thought about it, but yeah, I get your point to a degree, I guess. That's funny though. Well, you are from Tennessee though, so I mean, or thereabouts. Kentucky, Tennessee, yeah, North Carolina, one of those southern states. I wasn't going to tell. I was trying to cover up. I wasn't going to tell. I know where you're from. Wow, there's a lot of that. There are several of those. I'm not sure which one you're referring to. I know which one you're talking about. I really do. I'm playing dumb. Where your teeth aren't really yours. Yeah, I'm not saying a word. You see me being quiet. I ain't said a word about what you just wrote. That could be taken in several ways, and I'm not. Mm-mm. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm gonna pass. Damn it! I'm gonna have to throw that away later. Anyway, I'm gonna keep this going for a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna go. I had just popped on to ramble, and I think I've rambled enough. Cats, cancer, cat food, EBT, mean kids. I think I've rambled enough, but I'm going to end this on the 40-minute mark. I think just to call it a night. But we got another minute or two to shoot the breeze if you want. But yeah, I'll keep you posted on what they find out when I get the biopsy back. Like I said, I haven't gotten the biopsy yet, so I don't know what they're. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you on that, 100%. They could have done more with that than they did. And I put part of that on the sheriff's department out there. I think there's some cover up going on there. And especially if what I've heard about there being distant relations is true. I'm gonna question it even more. But that's me. Agreed. They 100% failed her. Uh, All of them, in my opinion. All of them, in my opinion. But they failed her brothers too. Yep, I agree. Her brothers are all four kids. Agreed. Yeah. Her brothers are just as. I'm just glad that her brothers got out. Well, I'm not just glad, but I'm glad that her brothers got out. That didn't sound right. But you know what I was trying to say. I'm glad that her brothers were able to get out because of some of that. But sadly, that had to take place. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. I've been going live now for 40 minutes, and we're just shooting the breeze. So I'm going to let you go. I'll hit you up probably tomorrow, tomorrow afternoon or something. I'm supposed to be going out to do some lunch and whatnot with Mrs. Mutt and one of her friends, and we're supposed to all go out tomorrow. So I'll hit you tomorrow afternoon and get up with you. Will do. I'll let her know you said hi. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later.